The Top Intern Season 2 is brought to you by Tampico.
After an intense debate challenge, the 12 contestants now face their most creative test yet. This time, it's all about storytelling, vision, and technical finesse as they step into the world of documentary filmmaking. Who will captivate the faculty and who will struggle to bring their story to life? The journey continues.
Hello and welcome to episode 4 of your favorite, The Top Intern on TV3. Today's episode is going to be a very exciting one, especially for our contestants who, by the way, have been grouped into 4 groups of 3. Now, their task is quite simple for anyone who has had a try or a feel at documentary or filmmaking. But for these contestants, it might be a totally new terrain, and so it might be a bit daunting. But at the same time, we're looking at them bringing their creativity to life. What exactly are they working on? They're supposed to come up with a very simple documentary film on the theme mental health awareness and access to care for young adults. Now, of course, they are given the creative freedom and they have to bring these ideas to life. At the same time, our faculty members will be watching closely, scrutinizing and analyzing every step. And they'll score them based on technical execution, on storytelling, and of course, on creativity. At the end of today's task, 2 of these contestants will go home. Thank you for joining us on The Top Intern. I think it's time for us to get straight into our task for today. My name is Berla Mundi.
To prepare the contestants for the task ahead, Cecilia Avoclia, a renowned film and television lecturer from Unimac IFT, provided expert insights into documentary filmmaking. With this foundation, the contestants are now well equipped and ready to take on the challenge.
If you go on production, you have all your plans worked out well. Things will still go wrong. Get used to it. When they go wrong, you are in a situation, be calm. Because eventually you will find your way around it. Things get rough. Don't go and fight on location. Don't say I didn't warn you. Don't fight on location. And yes, if you play with pre-production, it will show in the final output. If you don't work as a team, it will show in the final work output. Whatever you do affects the final output. I want us to have 4 quality documentaries that it will be difficult to choose which one is a good one. And that will depend on how well we work as a team, how well we research, how well we put our creativities to the bear, how well we try to put a style to what we are doing, and you see the beauty of telling a story that is compelling to change the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'd say wonderful experience meeting the top interns and discussing with them documentary filmmaking. For the class, it was very interesting to find out that about 90% of the class have not experienced film or television, but by the end of the class, it was quite interesting where people are aware of what roles they have to play and how to get captivating stories and impact with their documentary films.
Today's section was interactive and very, very educative. I didn't know anything about filmmaking or documentary, but then Madam Cecilia taught us a lot.
We learned various processes and production processes to documentary, and the main focus was mainly our research and what we will do. And we hope that we'll bring out great research and make good documentary.
You're welcome back to The Top Intern on TV3. Last week's debate was fantastic, but this week our contestants are playing the roles of filmmakers and they get to meet our faculty members at this point. Let me just remind you that this week's episode is all about filmmaking. Creativity, technical execution and storytelling is what they'll be scored on. And so let's meet our faculty members at this point, shall we?
Meet Nana Esilfua Tamaklo, a seasoned expert in strategic marketing, corporate communications, and external relations. With over 30 years of experience spanning Ghana, Central and West Africa, and the United Kingdom, she has made a significant impact across the banking sector, the fast-moving consumer goods (FMCG) industry, and the publishing world. A dedicated and passionate mentor, she is committed to shaping the next generation of leaders. With 30 years of experience, Professor Robert Ebo Hinson is a distinguished faculty member of Top Intern and a leading expert in marketing, customer experience, brand management, communication, sales, business management, and education. Recognized as a leading marketing professor in Africa by the AD Scientific Index for 4 consecutive years, Professor Hinson is a trailblazing marketing academic, bridging academia and industry to shape the next generation of business leaders. Dr. Jim Farah Awindo, a pioneering figure in film education in Ghana, with decades of experience as both a filmmaker and educator. He serves as the president of the Ghana Academy of Film and Television Arts and has played a key role in shaping the country's film industry. As a guest faculty member of Top Intern, he brings invaluable expertise and mentorship to the program, inspiring the next generation of creative professionals.
Hi everyone, this is the Risk Group and this is our first time meeting the faculty. Honestly, we are very nervous and anxious, but we have prepared and we are ready to meet them. Hopefully we win this round and we'll see you next episode. Many students, teens, and young adults with mental health problems remain untreated or face delayed detection before obtaining appropriate care. While early access to appropriate care can minimize the sequel of mental illnesses, little is known about how youth, particularly students, come to access this health care. According to WHO and UNICEF, an estimated 1 in 7 adolescents aged 10 to 19 are affected by mental health conditions. According to the same institutions, 50% of mental health problems are established by the age 14 and 75% by the age 24.
Mental health awareness. It's a very underrated topic in Ghana now. I think the youth nowadays, they are suffering more than their parents really can understand.
When we talk about mental health, most people think that mental health is just mental illness, but it's not only the mental illness. It's your ability to even function in the society, function emotionally and psychologically, and be productive in the environment you find yourself in.
Mental illness does not know the age of the individual. In fact, it is not a respecter of age, a respecter of person, respecter of your status, your color or whatsoever. It can affect everybody equally.
Some are inborn, that is, they are naturally born with it. Some are acquired, that is without knowing.
People go through things, you don't see it, but then they don't say it, so you don't really see them going through it. But then in the end, the person is diagnosed with depression, and then you ask yourself, but it's not the same person I met the other day and she was laughing and all that.
The stage of young adulthood and teens is a very challenging moment. This young adult faces a crucial challenges like peer pressure, social media, school challenges and everything.
Mental health issues are a lot. We have the issues and then the illness aspect. You may have a minor mental health issue, but that does not make it an illness until it goes beyond a certain limit. Then we can diagnose it per our assessment that will be done.
Mental health challenges have their signs and symptoms that any person can identify.
Number one could be withdrawal from the environment, withdrawal from family members. The person wants to be alone in his or her room or in an environment where a lot of people are gathered, he wants to isolate himself.
And we can also talk about physical signs like change in sleep, trouble in eating, and even relating with people.
Despite the clear need for action, access to mental health services for children and young people remain inadequate.
Most of the barriers that students or these young adults encounter in seeking treatment, number one is stigma. Nobody wants to be associated with mental health issues.
And the next one is financial constraint. Accessing mental health care is sometimes expensive. So if the money is not there, then the family will keep the person and it becomes worse. The first one is creating awareness.
What we can do is active listening.
I recommend a therapy, counseling.
We should train non-specialists or non-professionals to be able to identify what mental health issues are.
And then also the government should also support mental health activities in our nation by providing the necessary funding to the mental health authorities and other mental health care providing facilities.
Mental health awareness and access to care are crucial for the well-being of teens and young adults. Let us work together to create a supportive community that fosters mental wellness by breaking the stigma surrounding mental health and promoting early intervention.
Hello, good afternoon. I am Ms. Medusa Isapon. I am the director of this production, and this is the RIS group.
My name is Isaac Amwaku Mensa. I am the editor for this production.
My name is Stephen Amwakun Opoku, and I'm the sound and cameraman for RIS production, which is Rosemary, Isaac, and Stephen production. Thank you.
Good.
How much research did you do for this project? I looked at the whole thing, and I realized that without research, there are certain things that you might not be able to find. So I just wanted to know how much research you did.
Okay, so after our first, let's say, pre-agreement with the group, we decided to meet and then find a day to do a research. So we went online to check certain sites like the World Health Organization, the UNICEF, and then other sites to look at their perspective on mental health issues. And then we also try to speak to individuals, professionals, and then also students, so to also know their perspective and their awareness about mental health, and then how they can access care, and then who to even talk to. So it took us some time, but eventually we got the materials we wanted, and then we gathered them to get this documentary.
Yeah, I was asking this question because the audience already have a certain bias about things. So if you don't know what they know about that subject matter, how do you deal with it? So that's the reason why I asked that question.
I think after watching the video, I'll dovetail into what my colleague, the faculty, has just said, that I was at some point not so sure whether the sampled audience knew so much about the issue as in mental health, or it was their hazard of what they thought it was. So I was not too sure whether they already had some preconceived knowledge about that, and also the prevalence, either within the institution that they are in, because I realized we were students. The professionals obviously had a very clear idea as to what they were talking about. I was not so sure about the sampled students, how much they themselves knew about the issue, and therefore some of the suggested interventions.
Okay, so with some of the students, the first person we spoke to, Ebenezer, he said he had a friend who had gone through something, and he was actually diagnosed, and he actually helped him speak to his parents about the diagnosis and receive help. And then Enima, yes, Enima also told us she is a teen counselor in one of the halls, the traditional halls. So she has a fair idea of mental health and basically the care that people can receive.
I've been a hall master before in a non-traditional hall, and so I've met a lot of students in my time. I just want to piggyback off Esova's question and ask a question around mental health and academic productivity. Do you think people can carry this burden and still excel academically? Or do you think it's a major inhibitor to doing well in school?
I think that it's a major inhibitor because the mind, the brain, is the major faculty of learning. And so when there are issues troubling the mind related to mental health, it will become difficult for you.
I've seen some brilliant people who committed suicide, and you're wondering, what was going on here? Excellent grades, then he jumped and killed himself. So are you sure about your answer?
Yes, with such particular people, probably depression. Probably they have expectations that they want to meet, that even is outside the academics, but it can also influence their life. Despite them being going on well with the academics, it can affect them.
Rosemary, you want to chip in?
Yes, please. So with the second professional, which is Isaac, he also expanded on academics and the mind. And he says sometimes it manifests in different ways. Some people do not exhibit the same symptoms. Some may be stuck in bed and wouldn't want to do anything. And some may be hyper and you would think, oh, the person is fine, but there are underlying conditions which he's not portraying. So unless you are maybe close to the person, before you realize certain subtle changes in the person, before you realize, oh, maybe this person is going through a lot, even though on a glance or first appearance, he seems normal or is a functioning human being. Yes.
Hello guys. We are group 2 and we are hoping to meet the faculty soon. We are very tense, but we are bringing out our best.
Recent studies reveal an undeniable problem. Gen Z is the most depressed and anxious when compared with other generations. A significant percentage of Gen Z individuals report experiencing symptoms of depression and anxiety. Youth mental health is a growing concern in Ghana. What is behind this alarming trend, and how can we support our young people?
Mental health is simply how we think, how we feel, and how we behave. It consists of our psychological, mental, and emotional states in the society. Research shows that 1 in 4 people experience mental health daily or would have experienced mental health at some point in their lives. And it goes further to say, if you look your left and your right and there's no one going through any mental health disorder, then it is you.
My understanding about mental health refers to the state of mental well-being of individuals.
I see mental health to be the emotional, psychological, and social well-being of individuals. And I know that mental health do affect how we think, how we act, and also determines how we relate to people and make choices as an individual.
The psychological aspects comprises of how our cognition works, also our self-esteem, and the daily things we do in life that exposes us to mental health questioning. For example, the kind of friends we find ourselves, the kind of family that we were brought up from, and even the activities we engage in. And this comprises a lot about our thoughts, our behaviors, and our actions, because it is said that we are what we think, right? So if you keep having negative thoughts every day, it means that you become more of that negative thought.
I know someone with mental health issue and the person was stigmatized.
I mean, as guys, most times when you don't have money, it's really a problem. It tends to have an effect on your mental health.
By 2030, the United Nations seeks to reduce by 1/3 premature mortality from non-communicable diseases through prevention and treatment, and promote mental health and well-being through SDG 3.4. According to the Mental Health Authority, 1 in 4 Ghanaian youth experience mental health issues. Despite the rising numbers, mental health services and support systems are often under-resourced, leaving many to struggle in silence.
Misconceptions about mental illness is people think when you live with someone with a mental health disorder, you end up contracting mental health. No, it's not like that. Actually, your support makes the people feel better. People feel that mental health disorders are spiritual possessions, but a lot of the spiritual problems we have today are also mental health problems. And there have been evidence of people who have come to us seeking for help and support, and at the end of the day, they are doing so much better.
We should stop the stigma against people we know who live with mental health issues like depression and bipolar.
We as individuals can share with our colleagues, I mean our roommates, like everybody that we feel like when we share problems with, everything is going to be fine, because a problem shared is half solved.
What stigma does is that it prevents people from accessing mental health services or support.
The more you stigmatize against them, the more they have the consciousness to engage in suicidal thoughts.
So the best is to play your role as a friend, as a brother, as a sister, and then help the person get the therapy that is needed. At the end of the day, everyone needs a push, that there is someone who is really here offering me the social support, the emotional support, for me to get the help that I need. You should always have a fast dial number on your phone, an expert that you should call. In the family, have a professional you can call when something goes at home for first advice, for first point of call, so that it doesn't gravitate.
We are group 2, and my name is Michael Akwon.
Good afternoon. My name is Prince Botchery.
Good afternoon. My name is Alves Kwabena.
Did you have a name for your
production company?
Yes.
Yeah, what's the
yes.
name?
So the Ultimates Productions, but we didn't put it.
All right, okay. All right, Michael, by the way, you look very sharp for this afternoon.
Thank you.
That's good. You know, I've picked quite a lot of stuff from your video, but I wanted to raise an issue around, not an issue, make a comment about the SDG 3.4, the UN goals around mental health. They have a roadmap. So my question is, you stated what their roadmap is, but do you have any idea where they are as far as Ghana is concerned? Because some of these statistics relate more internationally, and therefore, if you want to get the statistics as to where they are, you are likely to get that in some of the other countries like UK, US, Canada, etc. But what about Ghana? If you reflect on the roadmap, where are we?
Okay, I'll take that. So we checked the UN SDGs page, and then we also reached out to the Mental Health Authority. We got some information that was also stated that if you look out of 4 people, at least there's one person that, but we were unable to get the Ghana's position or Ghana's action so far. Yes.
Actually, I wasn't so, okay, there are actions being taken, and yes. I guess that reflects in a lot of health institutions and the actions that they are taking. So I was trying to understand whether we are making inroads. Are we progressing or progressively, making an impact as far as the roadmap is concerned? That was the kind of response I was looking for.
Okay, unfortunately, we weren't able to get that.
All right.
Okay, so just to piggyback off Madam Silver's question, Prince Love, your name is very powerful. I get the sense that access to counseling services seems to be a predominant theme in your documentary.
Yes.
But there are many, many ways of better handling mental health challenges, especially amongst university students. Did you avert your mind to any of these in the way you conceptualize the documentary?
Yes, please. We tried talking to some people, and I mean, most university students gave the idea that if I'm not feeling well or I'm depressed or I'm not really in the mood, like how they address that.
In
they
the
talk
mood,
to their,
wait, in the mood for what?
like I'm feeling down, I'm
Down.
unlike myself.
Okay.
They talk to their friends.
Okay.
Sometimes they shut down.
Okay.
But the immediate person they reach out to is their friend.
Indeed.
Or maybe a family member.
Indeed.
But it is not something that is, should I say, it's not something from a source that they can guarantee that I'll get help from. They just want to vent out to someone. So that's why we've particularly focused on the agencies available who can help. After they listen to you, what do they do with what you've given to them?
Okay, so you are waiting for the agencies to come and help the students. I mean, things like even having a balanced lifestyle sometimes helps you to reduce your mental health. Even physical exercise also helps.
Yes.
So, in the way you, again, I'm going back to the conceptualization.
Yes,
are you saying your research showed that you must always go and talk to somebody and there's no sense of personal responsibility you can take to improve your mental health? I'm just checking. Yes.
When you watch the video,
yes,
you notice that the counselor talked about your individual self not to think negatively.
Indeed.
So you should have that thought of positivism.
Okay.
When you are moving, if I have something to do, I should be positive.
Yes.
Because when you think negative, it brings something of mental health to you. So we didn't focus only on support from friends and family, but your individual self too.
Okay. I'm going back to your title. Why the unseen burden of the youth? I thought you were talking about mental health generally. I know your target is the youth, but why just the youth? The unseen. In fact, if you have said that the unseen burden of mental health, they will know that of course it involves everybody. Anyway, so that's so how come you came up with this title?
The topic was specifically readdressing mental health concerning the youth. That was the specific topic that was given.
Yes, but in terms of creativity, I mean, target is a different thing. Anyway.
2 teams down, 2 more to go. Very exciting scenes, I must say. And of course, I've been talking about creativity all through. Stories have really been told and we have 2 more teams to go. And so maybe it's time for us to take a look at what they also have to present and we'll see who will rise to the occasion. This is the Top in 10. Let's go.
We are the Spark Minds.
Yes, and today is our first time meeting the faculty members, and we are quite excited and pretty much nervous, but we are hoping for the best of this particular session, and we are looking forward to entertaining you and educating you.
Hey, me akuke yin wurin nan. Yau ta mun sallah ya kai ba. Maza ku tashi. Wasan banza ku tashi. Ku tashi ku ce. Isauri. Me da me nkwala no mo ya ade a me bu omo pa.
Today, we will delve into the intricacies of mental health, especially depression and anxiety, and explore how individual experiences and actions can shape a more supportive and inclusive community. Mental depression is a silent struggle that affects millions of children worldwide. It's a feeling of emptiness, hopelessness, and despair that can be overwhelming and isolating.
If I does something that is bad and she beats me, I am sad. Later, I will go and beg her so that she will forgive me.
We make sure me straight on. One straight on sa mo ko baby won ko baby e na e kasa wona wonya won straight akwala no iye.
The young people experience a lot of mental health challenges and sometimes they don't know where to go to.
They say they are kro and e titin kwada. Nti so the aba na dua titin kwada no anu wa kwa kopura wo.
As the first girl child, it's a responsibility that you do your chores and then all those things. So I remember one day I went to school, came back, and then my mom was so angry, so bitter. And then according to her, after washing, I left a plate I didn't wash. So because of that, for a week, I wasn't giving money to school. So that, you go to school, sometimes you are late, the teacher will beat you, you are hungry too. During that week, you don't have food to eat. It was a very bad experience.
3.2% of children suffer from depression worldwide, which is one of the leading causes of mental health issues in young teens and Gen Zs, according to the Global Burden of Disease study.
One of the ways you can help young children to identify early signs of mental challenges is to communicate with them. Create that safe space where they will be able to share with you some of the challenges they are facing. And there's a lot of stigma going on, so if they don't feel comfortable, they will struggle to open up with you.
If my mother buys me something that I like, I am happy.
Through shared experiences and activities, peer groups can help young people build confidence, develop coping strategies, and connect with others who understand what they are going through. If you are struggling with mental health, know that you are not alone. Reach out to a trusted adult or join a peer group. There is support available.
It would be important for us as an institution and as the healthcare, Ghana Health Service, to have an avenue for young people to promote the mental health of young ones, to prioritize these Gen Zs and teens' mental health, because they are about to be the next future generation. And so if they are safe and they have good mental health, then we are assured of good leaders in the future.
If I have a note to my younger self, I would tell myself, it's okay not to be hard on yourself sometimes, and it's okay not to be okay.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done for the efforts. I think I saw quite a lot of what I was hoping to see. Your ability to look at the home setting, for it to start from there. And I think that was very poignant, looking at also an utterance from a mother and some of the things that can be inflicted on children. So I think your start was good. And I also noticed that yours did not necessarily focus on students on campus only. So you started from you that were younger than the typical Gen Z age. So yours had a better spread, I think. I don't know what your briefing was, but I'm seeing some age band that's a little different from, so I got a much more wider perspective. And then I also got somebody who put herself in. Maybe she didn't say too much, but at least she gave us an insight into some of the things she had gone through personally. So we had a bit of a personal. I saw more of interventions from our public institution, from the Ghana Health, services, but I didn't get what the society in itself could also do to support, our young people with mental health issues, because I'm not sure we can give the responsibility strictly to a public institution, which is government, and their funding issues here and there. So that was a bit that I didn't see. But all in all, I think I've seen something that's quite refreshing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sandra Zikpi.
Hello, sir.
Okay, I need to check where you are sitting.
Nice.
So, since you've gotten this fairly complimentary intro from Madam Chair, I want to understand the research that underpinned this production.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. So,
Sandra Zikpi, right?
Yes, Sandra Zikpi speaking.
Okay.
Thanks so much, Madam Chair, for the compliment. When we took our topic, mental health awareness among the Gen Zs and teens, we realized that it starts from somewhere.
Sorry, before you continue, this Gen Z is what? What is that? Gen Z is what?
Generation Z.
Generation Z.
Yes.
Those who were born from the 2000s.
The 2000s?
Yes.
Okay, what about those who were born?
2024.
2024,
yes. Now we are the Gen Beta
generation now, 2025.
What about Generation Alpha? Is there Alpha too?
Yes.
Alpha.
That one is from where?
90.
You don't know that one. You continue. Yeah, Gen Z, continue.
Did the whole lesson
on Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Gen Beta. Yes, you go, congratulations.
And millennials.
Millennials were inside.
Yes.
Different from the Gen Zs.
Yes.
Congratulations. Madam, go ahead. Gen Z.
Yeah, so we decided to tackle it from where it started, which is from childhood. We believe that it came from somewhere, which is having a title behind, which is behind closed doors. So we believe that before we matured, before our mental health became unstable, it started from somewhere, which is from home. And we did a couple of searches and realized that most African homes don't allow their kids to be open, be outspoken. Mostly they are getting, like, they are
So what was,
shouted
give me
at.
2 research objectives that guided your research for the documentary. Number 1.
Two of our objectives. The first objective is actually to find out how parents and children cope in their homes.
Indeed.
We understand that when we see people from the outside, most people...
That's okay, you don't have to explain the objective. Number 2.
And then the number 2, we want to be able to foster a good parent-child relationship.
No, that one is not objective. The first one was brilliant. How children and parents cope at home.
Yes.
Perfect. Number 2,
Yes.
by all means.
Yes, the second one is to raise awareness about the effect of mental health issues on children, yes, from their upbringing, yes.
Shouldn't you to find out what the effect of mental health neglect or mental health whatever has on children? These are objectives, not outcomes, not end results.
Yes. Yeah, that's why we said awareness, to create the awareness.
It's okay, this question is difficult. Please, let me pass it over to someone else, yes.
Yeah, just to follow up on Chair Lady's submission at the beginning, that is refreshing. That for once I started to see a story, emerge. And what that did, I don't know whether you go for it, you take it or not, but what that did was that it gave us a definition. That's 1. 2, it gave us a prevention. And that's and the third one, it kind of explained the little things that we don't normally think will bring about conditions like this. And we just saw it through just the skit, the reenactment of the home, and then possibly they talked about the school. So it brought about the whole story for me to want to watch it. To enjoy watching it. And that's what the essence of documentary is. It's about storytelling. Does it engage the audience? Does it entertain? Because a documentary without entertainment, it's also not a good one. I mean, it's not all about the education. Yes, you can educate and still entertain, because that's how people are going to get engaged in watching the story. And I think that was compelling, and I like it.
Thank you very much.
Hi everyone. We are yet to meet the faculty and we are very nervous. We know we put in the work, but we don't know what will happen. But we are prepared for it. So we are hoping for the best.
And I thought I'm going to be a burden on my parents, so I attempted suicide.
One morning I woke up, I realized that I've been in the room for about a whole week.
Behind the laughter, the chatter, and the appearance of normalcy, a silent battle rages on. For many young people, the university experience is not just about growth and grades, it's also about survival.
Well, I think the state of mental health amongst university students is declining.
The major mental health problems that students face here on campus are depression, anxiety, and then stress.
Recent studies have shown that at least 60% of university students are struggling with mental health issues.
When I'm among people, I'm happy. But then when I get to my room, like everything comes back crashing down on me.
Two university students discuss their experiences with mental health challenges.
Mine had to do with a project that was very bigger than me, and I vouched to take part in that project because I needed the money. My technical skills wasn't at that level, but then because of the money, I decided to do it. One morning I woke up, I realized that I've been in the room for about a whole week, just being on the bed, because I eventually broke down.
I was depressed when I was in university, and what led to me being depressed was back in SHS 3, I attempted suicide. When I went home, due to spiritual background, we had to bury the fact that I even attempted suicide, and we didn't speak about it till now.
If a student has depression, the student will mostly keep to himself, will not like to associate with other friends or his or her colleagues.
I couldn't go to class, and it's one way or the other affected me, because I realized that if I don't get this money, I would suffer, because by then I wasn't having anything on campus.
Well, I think they do, but maybe there are some factors that hinders them from actually seeking for help. One would be stigma or what others would think of them. Another one would be the cost involved, because for University of Ghana, I know that the service is free, but usually when you engage students, they think that it comes with a cost. I don't think that we are doing enough to raise awareness of the centers that we have or the services that are available to students on campus.
My roommates aren't the ones that you can talk to such issues about and then they will really get it. They'll just make fun out of it and then they just take it as one normal feeling. But for me, I really broke down.
Even my classmates, they gave me a name. They were calling me killer. Yes, others were calling me poison, but then it drained me a lot. I was smile with it as if I was happy, but then I wasn't happy. I was dancing in school and I could feel like a human being when I'm on stage dancing. Then that is when I feel the happiness.
I seek help by talking to people, just opening up.
Mental health is health. It's time we prioritize it, talk about it, and fight the stigma. Together, we can build campuses where students feel seen, supported, and safe.
More resources should be put in helping adolescents and young adults with mental health challenges. I like the fact that currently in Ghana, the National Health Insurance Scheme covers 4 mental health challenges, but I think that it could be extended to other mental health areas where mental health resources could be free.
Contact the Mental Health Authority through the contact on your screen to seek professional help. Parents are also encouraged to pay attention to any changes in their wards and actively support to seek the necessary help. It is okay not to be okay, but it is better to break the silence and speak out.
Wow. Jomo, Abigail, Edith. That's some really cool storytelling. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Interesting. How did you get those candidates, should I call them subjects? Subjects, to talk.
Okay, right. There were individuals that we knew their story. So we spoke to them if they were comfortable.
How did you know their stories?
They are friends.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought you did some wild research.
if they are comfortable sharing their story with us, then we would have that.
Interesting.
Yes.
So was it because they were familiar with you, that's why they accepted?
No.
Weren't they concerned about stigmatization?
Sorry.
Don't worry.
So that's why we decided not to show their face, because it allowed them to open up and...
Whose idea was that? I thought that was brilliant.
Yes, so they can freely tell us all about what they went through and how it can help others also who are going through the same thing. Seek help.
Abigail, you want to say something?
Yes, and one of our students was also not comfortable with others seeing him sharing his, so we decided just to take it from behind, because that way it's more safe. Because now, if you should blur out their faces, there are more, let me say, technologies and apps that can take off and it bring other issues to them. Yeah. Yes. So we took it from that angle.
Hey. So you did your research well.
Oh, wow.
You know, and I like the way, you know, not just even taken from the back, but sometimes you go to the legs, the hands, you know. So, I think it added up to the interest.
I went to buy some foreign expertise from Portugal.
One thing we identify was that, no, in general, for you to feel people's, like to feel how the emotional connection with what people are saying or what someone is telling you, it's sometimes about the nervousness they have,
of course,
and the expressions they show. Some will be tapping their leg,
of course.
And
so you wanted to capture that in
yes.
My goodness, hey, Abigail.
Okay. Let me just do my last one so that my minus was too many graphics, the writing. You could have just done without them. I mean, we still get it.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Jomo, Abigail, and Edith. Yes. I think I love the storytelling as well. And I think something I've raised, but you managed to get subjects to speak or speak about themselves without you necessarily risking, you know, their faces being shown on camera. So that was a good technique, because then we could get to the heart of the matter from individuals. And I also think your ability, I don't think you focus too much on the specialist. She came in with some statistics, but I think she wasn't overly, you know, how to present, let me say, in the documentary. So that was quite refreshing.
So please, the research that underpinned the documentary, what type of research was it? Was it quantitative? Was it qualitative? Did you have clear research objectives? Or because you had friends, you just proceeded with your friends?
So we had 3 objectives in mind.
Number 1.
We started. We wanted to create awareness of the mental health challenges university students are facing.
So number 1, to create awareness of mental health challenges facing students.
Yes,
as a research objective.
Students.
Okay, number 2.
Number 2 is to identify the mental health challenges that are faced by these university students.
Number 3.
And also we wanted to advocate for more resources to be put, like facilities.
No, but that's advocacy, it's not a research objective. By the token of your own word.
Yes, please.
So what was the objective?
So we wanted to ensure that by our video, we'll be able to incite the heads of these institutions.
You want to incite them.
Stakeholders.
That's like insurrection, you know. You want to incite them, okay? Yes. No, but I get the spirit of what you want to say.
Wow. Now, all 4 teams have presented their documentaries. And I must say, I am very impressed, especially because you're newbies who have just entered into the space of documentary and filmmaking. But will they really rise up to the occasion? If you're watching our faculty members closely, you'd notice that they were scoring, taking down notes, and really analyzing every step of our contestants. And that should just remind you that 2 of them would unfortunately bow out of the competition by the end of today. When we get back, we'll find out what the scores look like and who will stay and who would leave. This is a Top Intern.
So it was particularly refreshing. The last 2 groups, they were the best by far, and they were lady groups as well. The way they conceptualized the documentary, even the type of research they conducted, the way they did the shooting and transitioned, it was absolutely brilliant. In fact, there was a question about why some of the frames were monochrome and some color, and they explained that when they were going to more somber, morbid moments, they had to do black and white. So you see there's something really monumental coming, and then they transitioned back to color for what would be the more normal run of the documentary. So, I mean, all said, there were strong showings from the last 2 lady groups, and the first 2 were not as strong as as those last two. For the first two, we're not too convinced about the storytelling, we're not too convinced about the quality of the research, but as a group, all four put in a decent effort, but the last two were better than the first two.
Personally, the last two groups were phenomenal, comparing them to the first two. So that's what I would like to say. And they had the themes of looking at creativity, storytelling, and some technical execution. And I think for both of them, and especially the last one, they executed it very well. And I could feel my own emotions in the storytelling, and that's what was very compelling for me. So I like to say that if I look at all the work that went into it and then their conceptualization of the entire documentary, I would say the group 4 and Jomo, Abigail, Tego, and Edith Mensah, they did very well. And I love the fact that they were very synchronized and very well aligned on how they will respond to each of the questions. It was almost as if they had actually pre-rehearsed, and it's very good for a presentation. So I love that aspect about how they presented themselves here and how they also presented the documentary, and also the thinking behind what we could not see or what was not scripted on the documentary. They gave us very, very strong insights as to what the thinking was behind it. So I think I would go for group 4.
Technically, I was impressed, especially with the camera work, the editing, and all that. So that means that they had some good training somewhere. So I was impressed about that. But the other things that I was looking out for was going the extra mile to kind of use technique in storytelling. So how did they use camera to tell a story, or a good story that is compelling, that is engaging, and all that? How did they interview their subjects? Was there a technique that was used to get the story flowing and all that? So my concentration was on things like that, but technical aspect, the sound, the editing, and all that was good. So I like the way they went about things. So I would just congratulate them for their presentation.
We just want to thank you very much for the brilliant rendition you came to give. We remembered your qualitative and quantitative answers, your monochrome versus color answers, and we have the absolute pleasure of announcing to you that for today's contest, you came out first, so many congratulations. Well done, well done, well done, well done, well done.
Congratulations, Jomo, Abigail, and Edith. I think we're all very impressed. Well done. So congratulations.
Congratulations.
Keep up the good work. And keep up the teamwork.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes! Yes, we did it. So we are so happy, we are so excited to be the winners of this episode, and we are so grateful that whatever work we put in has manifested into us winning. Thank you.
Wow, it wasn't easy, but it went well, and we are grateful and very happy about it.
Yeah. For me, I'm excited. I don't know what to say. I don't know what emotions to express, but I know I'm extremely excited, and yes.
Thank you.
Hi, so you're welcome back.
Thank you.
This is the hot seat you are in now. And I was engaging earlier, and I realized you went to secondary schools that span Central, Eastern, and Greater Accra. Yes, so we just want to know from the judging side, which region do you think was the weakest link?
I think.
And for the purpose of the viewers, Rich Love is West Eagle Central, you are Lady of Mercy, Tema, Greater Accra, and you are?
Ashanti region.
Yeah, Ashanti region.
Ashanti, not Eastern. Okay, all right. So who do you think was the weakest link?
I think we all did our best. There was no weakest.
That's how you all go home. Just tell us who you think the weakest link was. You can't all say you all did your best. I know you all tried, but who do you think was the weakest link in this team?
It's a tough one, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a tough one. But anyway, sometimes in a team, you are put under pressure to actually do what we call peer assessment, self-assessment, to also see how you all pulled your weight, over an assignment or a project that you've been giving. So I think after reviewing we've seen 4 video productions. As a faculty, I think you came last on our list. Unfortunately, you did great, but comparing you to the other videos or the productions that we have seen, it's unfortunate.
Ironically, they were the ultimate team.
Yes.
Ultimate Productions.
That you came last. But amongst the 3 of you who, presented, you all gave some very strong inputs, in defense of some of the questions that, as judges, we posed. But I think Michael came through a bit more strong, compared to the 3 of you. So I think we'll be keeping Michael on. And unfortunately, Prince Love and Albert might have to say goodbye.
You have been evicted.
Thank you.
But thanks for coming.
Yes.
Well done. Okay.
Hi guys.
I'm fine. We tried. We had a committee.
Tried our best, but I'm happy for my colleague Michael, and we hope that he makes us proud.
And it's unfortunate my teammates are leaving the show, but I hope I progress and make improvement.
Hi everyone, we are back again. We are done seeing the faculty members, and even though we didn't come out the first position, we came out second, and we are quite excited because the judges actually highlighted the fact that we tackled different angles of mental health awareness, and this is a plus for us.
The most important thing is that we have qualified and we're hoping to excel in the next stage of the competition.
We thought we've done everything possible to win this competition, but trust me, we will take it like that. Once we are still in the game, look out. The risk group, hey, watch us.
What a challenging day it has been, especially for our contestants who brought their creativity to life. But most importantly, we're able to see a different side of them. And you got to judge while our faculty also did its work as expected, scrutinizing the documentary film that they created. Unfortunately, this is the end of the road for 2 of our contestants, but this is just the beginning of their journey, and we wish them the very best. For the rest of the 10 who remain in the competition, the challenge has really just begun, and we wish them the very best in the subsequent episodes. This has been the Top in 10. My name is Berla Mundi. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next week. Cheers.
The Top Intern Season 2 is brought to you by Tampico.